In this example, we're going to use trusses to create our shed roof, and I turned the roof around so we have the larger part over the garage header, and we have some blocks here where the trusses sit on top of the wall. It'd be a nice thing to block there. Our support bracing to keep the trusses equally spaced. This one here in this example, we're using 2x4 and kind of shoved them up against the webbing, and if it works out, great. If not, something like this would be spanned at least a third of the distance, and a third of the distance if possible. Roof sheathing, trusses, another view of it. And again, here we took the corner and instead of having a plumb cut fascia board, I squared this off. And this works out a lot better for this type of roof. Actually works out better for most roofs that are angled like this. Blocks are angled and they actually have a framing anchor on them. This helps to tie the block to the wall framing and helps with the perimeter nailing, makes a nice solid connection here. Sometimes the engineer will require a shaped block and an angled block, but again, I'm trying to throw out some different methods. If you watch enough of the videos, you should be able to figure out some pretty good ways to build your garage, just what it would look like underneath. And of course, if you were to use stucco or siding, you could see how it would finish out nice up here. I guess you might not be able to see that, but I can. Built too many of these things. Here are the 2x4 lookouts, spaced 32 inches on center, and the shaped blocks above. And these blocks will need to be a little bit longer so that you can get some nailing down here. If you are going to use plywood siding, or even lap siding, then, and I hate to say that, even stucco is going to give you some shear stapling, we'll call it. But this is always good. Make sure it comes a little bit lower so you can get the siding. If it's not, when the siding absorbs moisture and then releases it through cold air and hot air with moisture in it, then the plywood could buckle here if you don't have the blocks. Another view of it there with the shaped blocks. And again, this provides you with the perimeter nailing. And the perimeter nailing on this, you'd basically have two. It'd go all the way around the fascia board and then basically all the way around where the walls, where the roof trusses sit on top of the walls. Hope that makes sense. Always make another video on that. The braces here to help keep the trusses equally spaced and lined up. Use some 2x4s with 16D nailing. This one actually put 2 nails in each one. Sometimes only 1 nail is going to be required. Here's an example of a shed roof garage, 2-car garage with shed roof framing, 2x10 rafters. Of course, your rafters might need to be larger, might need to be 2x12s. Depending upon snow loads and stuff like that. You're going to need to build a wall across here or extend the wall up here. Put some gable studs in, and whether we are going to call these ceiling joist or rafter ties, garage ties, they will need to be installed. And in here I have 2x10, 2 foot on center, and I'm going to try and provide you with some different examples. Make sure you check out the end of the video. I'm trying to have some links there to some different examples of these different types of garage framing ideas for shed roofs. And you are going to need to mid-span block this. And it'd be nice to have some blocks that tie into the walls here. And again, I'm going to go over a little more of that in detail. It's nice to have tie here in the center. And I'd imagine if an engineer drew this, they would want blocks that this would have some type of a tie. If you could just imagine this block wasn't here, kind of like what would be stabilizing the wall here. We have the ceiling joists and the rafter stabilizing the walls on the front and the back, but here we wouldn't. But if we put a couple of straps in or some framing anchors and connected these 2 blocks or strapped it all the way across kind of a thing, you'd get a nice tie across there. And again, more on that in future videos, so check the back of the video at the end for links to that. And of course, other garage videos with different types of roofs. So here we have the roof framing, 2 foot on center, and these rafters are going to need to be shaped for the tails unless you're going to use larger fascia board. I see that every once in a while someone will have a 2x10 rafter and they don't shape the tail, cut it a little smaller. You see where it's cut here. And then they'll put 2x8 fascia board on, and you can see the rafters. Doesn't look that good. Don't forget the blocks will be shaped also, angled to the roof pitch, and of course to notch the ends of the ceiling joists if necessary, so that the plywood makes a nice blend in. Up the barge rafter there, the lookouts right here to support the fascia board, and again the shaped blocks here, and of course they would be shaped in the same direction as the other blocks. Take a look underneath, same thing. The other end of the rafter will need to be shaped so that it doesn't stick below the fascia board if you are going to use smaller fascia board. This will give you an idea of the blocking here. Gable studs, how they tie to the end rafter here, creating a nice flat surface. The other end, bottom view here, want to give you an idea what it would look like here. Sometimes we're going to have to put some blocks here to finish this off, but I've seen people plenty of times they stucco a building and they just go right up the blocks. And of course, you're going to put a soffit underneath here. That would eliminate the need for blocks there also. This is a 4-12 pitch, if I didn't mention that. And there's your sheeting in your complete garage. Last year about this time, I made a video about a shed or a garage, something you could build, and made a video. But on that, it didn't have an overhang. So the individual wanted to know how you would build it with a roof overhang. So hopefully this makes sense here. The rafters are just going to be a little bit longer. So I think this was about 16 feet, depending upon how far you want the overhang to go. Here I have about a 2-foot overhang on the front and the back, or on this side, and then a 1-foot overhang on the other side. And to do that, you will extend the rafters out so that you can nail the fascia board to it. And on this side, you will use 2x4s or lookouts, referred to as lookouts. I don't know what they're referred to. Where you're at, who knows, in construction, if there's one thing I can say, we got different names for everything. So feel free to leave it in the comment area what the heck these things are referred to in your area. I'm in Southern California, and we refer to these as lookouts. Why? I have no idea. So there's simply going to be 2x4s that are notched into the side rafter, and they'll just end nail in from the other side here into this rafter and just kind of cantilever out to support barge rafter there, and give you an idea what the notch would look like here. There we go. And the lookouts are usually spaced 32 inches on center. You can space them wherever you want to. Sometimes it might not be a bad idea to space them 4 foot on center so your plywood breaks and you don't have to look at the plywood breaks on this side. Or if you're going to use a starter board or something like that, 1x6, I guess it wouldn't matter. But plywood, if you didn't want to see the breaks, you could simply line the blocks up in the center of the plywood. Wherever the plywood was going to break on top, you would just have a block underneath these, or an outlooker underneath these joints here, and then when you looked underneath you wouldn't see any lines, but whether that'd be a big deal for you or not would be up to you. Now, for those who have seen enough of my videos, I like to provide options. This would be another one. If you do not want to have a wide fascia board, for example, if we have 2x12 rafters, you might not want to have a 2x14 or a 2x12 piece of fascia board. And if that's the case, all you would need to do would be to rip the rafters down, reshape them so that you can use a 2x8. And in this case, I kind of made this a 2x6 so that this could be a 2x8 on the side here. Hope that makes sense. You would just simply do this on both sides, and then the fascia board would go all the way around the perimeter of the shed or the building, garage, whatever you're doing. So anyway, that is it for this video. And thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, let us know by hitting the thumbs up button or letting us know in the comment area.